A weirdo had a business where he treated his customers worse than TikTokers treat fast food employees, and a YouTuber named Louis Rossman called him out for his bad behavior and horrible business practices. And as a result, this business owner, he got very upset and he pulled up his britches and did what you should never do on the internet landscape. He filed fraudulent strikes against the channel that was calling him out. That is a big time no-no right there. That's like the Walter White in the car screaming meme. Like, you never want to do that because it's always disastrous. And Rossman is a big channel. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with his work. And in poking this bear, it led Louis Rossman on his own investigation, following trails of breadcrumbs and eventually compiling court documents and credible sources. And he alleges that this business owner is most likely this man with a criminal history, a very serious criminal history. Like, it's not Weenie Hut Jr. at all. It's not like he smoked the devil's lettuce one time, caught with weed. The charges that this individual faced were child sex offenses, and as a result, it has led to him and his business being completely gadooshed. I highly recommend watching Louis Rossman's full video on this. I just want to go over bits and pieces of it because it is fucking nuts.
I'm going to be following up on the video that I did on Better Way Electronics the other day. Before we get started on the video, there's two things I have to go into because this gentleman has repeatedly tried to strike my videos down on privacy and defamation claims.
Now, this slug creature is doing this to anyone that's even covering this topic right now, where he is filing fraudulent strikes to try and have like the videos blocked or taken down. But YouTube themselves is seeming to step in and put the kibosh on that because it is just complete baloney. It's just absolute malarkey. So it's not going through, but this guy is actively doing the best he can to try and scrub this and censor it. I'm familiar with at least one other channel that's talked about this and has made a video about it that has faced a similar claim against them, trying to have that video removed by this guy. So I'm very certain that he's going to try the same for me here now that I'm also talking about it.
The first thing we need to go over when it comes to privacy and doxing, that the messages that I'm going to be showing in this video are messages back and forth between a WhatsApp number and his customers, and this WhatsApp number is public on his business website. If you go to betterwayelectronics.com.au, you'll see that there is a text or WhatsApp right here. This is a public business phone number.
The messages are shared with the customer's full consent for Rossman to cover them. The WhatsApp number is publicly available, publicly posted by the business itself. There is no privacy or doxing complaint that he can justifiably try and use as an angle to take videos down here. And the defamatory claim that he tries to make as well is also just bogus because he is simply going over credible sources and court documents about it. I'm hoping that when he inevitably tries this clown behavior again here with trying to claim or strike this video, YouTube will do the same thing they've done previously and just shut it down themselves here because he has absolutely no leg to stand on with it.
So BWE has a piece of software that allows you to better understand what's going on with your PlayStation. This allows you to diagnose and repair the console in a way that you wouldn't be able to without his software. I will give him credit there that he's damn good at what he does at making software that makes it easier to fix a PlayStation. The problem is that his software has a very, very weird type of spying DRM in it where it can tell what you're running on your computer. If you're running software on your computer he doesn't like, he bans you. If you're not running other software on his computer, he also bans you.
That's kind of the lore breakdown here in a nutshell with the genesis of this controversy, this beef, what started it. He has software that's a diagnostic tool for PlayStations to help people repair it and figure out what's going on so they can better repair their devices. If you're familiar with Rossman's work, you are probably very familiar with something he is a huge advocate for, which is the right to repair. Basically, you as the owner of a piece of electronics should have the ability to get it repaired. I think that's a very understandable, very simple, very agreeable perspective to have on things. So this guy had a piece of software that would help users better do that and help businesses repair these things as well. It was a good piece of software, but he had a really scummy thing slid in there, a little poison, where it would be spying on its users, and if they had software that they were running or not running, he would ban them. Basically, this guy would be some kind of like power-tripping asshole, delusional maniac weirdo that would just like ban people and then berate them. Like, you're going to see some messages here in a moment. It is just fucking baffling behavior. Rossman called it out, and for 13 months, he didn't change his ways. Instead, he then tried to take down Rossman's video, which of course harms his channel. This guy never issued any refunds to the people that he wrongfully banned, so Rossman again talked about it because now this guy is actively trying to harm him, and it's led to all of this. So now let's get into a couple of the messages.
Uber Micro Repairs asks, any reason for the license to be revoked? BWE links to the terms and conditions, without saying which term. Uber Micro asks, please point out the one that I have allegedly broken. BWE says, please read it before asking me to read it for you, though given you've accepted it, you've surely read it. I'm not a mind reader. Please enlighten me on the terms you think I have broken. As far as I'm aware, I did nothing wrong. That software was last used on February 15, 2025, and since that day, the laptop was on my shelf with a dead battery. So again, please let me know what I did wrong. BW responds, then no loss? So he is implying that because Uber Micro has not used this software in 2 or 3 months, that there's no loss if his access to it is revoked.
Hey pal, you just blow in from Stupid Town? Rossman then illustrates just how outlandish that whole idea is, where he talks about how, like, the speaker he has next to him, his Axiom speaker, he hasn't plugged in a month because he's currently using different speakers down there. But imagine if the owners of Axiom came over, took the speaker back, stole it from him, and then said, well, you weren't using it right now anyway, so then no loss. That's ridiculous, right? Well, that's exactly the same case here. He bans him, revokes his access to it because he wasn't using it enough for this guy's liking. That's unhinged. That's crazy.
End of conversation. I honestly have no interest in talking to someone as disgusting as yourself. Please stop talking to me. Thanks. This is not how somebody who is emotionally and mentally healthy responds to a customer. Don't ban customers because of this.
He continues to argue with this customer who's been wrongfully banned for the pettiest reason imaginable. It is just, it's unhinged. It is. And it goes on for a while. I'll only show you one more excerpt from another example Rossman provides, but there is a long history of BWE's owner here being this douchebag to customers and banning people without a real reason.
He's asking for photo ID from the customer. The customer doesn't send photo ID, but he responds with a photo of his receipt. BWE makes fun of him and berates him and says, so wait, when you're driving and a cop pulls you over, you show him this? The customer responds, it's a business credit card in my father-in-law's name. I'm not asking him for a copy of his ID. Louis, so you don't exist, and he doesn't exist. And then he links to the terms. BWE is mocking this customer for not wanting to give him his state ID. He's mocking him for showing the receipt for the software, in spite of the fact that on his own website, he doesn't even have his own name attached to it.
He loves arguing with customers more than Bugs Bunny likes carrots. So I've cut around some of these here, but you can see the way that he behaves. There is a long history and a multitude of examples of him treating his customers like toilet paper, and he is just a completely revolting person to them. Angered upon learning more and more about BWE's behavior, Rossman decided to look more into Louis himself to see what kind of person this guy even is that would do shit like this so frequently and try and actively file these fraudulent strikes against him. So he did a little digging.
Made me sick. Let's talk about BWE. I'm Louis. I have a master's degree in cybersecurity, a bachelor's in management, a bachelor's in information systems, and a diploma in business. I'm currently undertaking a PhD in cybersecurity. So he's going for his degree, and he lives in Brisbane, Australia. His website is registered to Julie Marie Miller Morrison, not Louis. Who is Julie Marie Miller Morrison? Julie Marie Miller Morrison is somebody in Australia that owns Phase 4 Modern. She's listed under this business name. That Donat Harahaj and Julie Morrison own this place. If you look down here, it says that the owners are Donat Dani Taharaj and Julie Morrison. Wonder who's related to Donat Taharaj. Do we find anybody? If you take a look, you'll find this gentleman over here, Louis Tahiri, whose name used to be Luan Taharaj.
Again, I've cut this up a little bit here just to give you the bullet points on how he connects BWE to this individual, Luan Taharaj, or Louis Tahiri. It's, I think, a pretty convincing connection here. Of course, it's all alleged at the moment, but all of the coinky-dinks are very suspicious, eyebrow-raising indeed. It's not just, nonsense Rossman's pulling out of his butt cheeks here.
So from May 2010 to July of 2024, this man's name was Luan Tarahaj. ABNs are kind of like social security numbers in Australia. Your name can change, but this always stays the same. His name is Louis, the name that we know our individual. Where does he live? Main business location. When you take a look at the postal code, Brisbane, Australia, right where his business is located. Now, let's take a look at when he was registered to do business. He was active from May of 2010 to June of 2013. Now, what may have happened in June of 2013 that caused him to stop doing his business? This is. You ready? 1, 2. Brisbane court jails man for 12 years over internet sex offenses. A Brisbane court has jailed a man for 12 years for offenses including using the internet to procure underage girls for
unforgivable crimes from this individual, Luan Tarahaj or Louis Tahiri. Absolutely sickening shit. These are all publicly available records that others have also gone down this same rabbit hole and turned up the same results. But again, it is not 100% confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this Louis Tahiri is the same Louis from BWE, though he himself has made a pseudo-statement about it. Apparently he made this Discord post saying, given their goal was defamation, harming the reputation of business, he's not going to contribute any longer, saying that it succeeded, and that whether what they've said is true or not, or whether or not he can prove it, has no meaning any longer. The information provided by those people doesn't reflect his business or himself, and he's also collecting all of this evidence for his own safety and sanity, saying that what's been happening to him is criminal. So he's kind of threatening, nudging that he's going to perhaps be pursuing legal action himself against everyone that's talked about this and Rossman, who's done this investigation. He's basically claiming that he is a liar. He even blatantly just calls him a liar. Now, I know I'm jumping ahead in the timeline a little bit here because this is the most recent video from Rossman covering it. It's BWE's response to his investigation. And BWE responded in the only way he fucking knows how, horseradish complaints. So he filed another privacy complaint, and Rossman points out that the times there include that Brisbane arrest of that individual who was sentenced to 12 years for the child sex offenses. And Rossman illustrates that the only way he could note that as a privacy complaint would be if he was that guy. How could you say that that is a privacy complaint violating your privacy if it's not you? If he is not that guy, then how could that possibly violate his privacy? It just doesn't make any sense. He's calling Louis a liar, but still filing a privacy complaint on that. It just doesn't compute. So it's very messy from BWE's Louis here. Again, it is still all alleged that he is this same individual, but as Rossman also points out, it's very easy for him to prove that it's all a fucking lie if he would come out and do exactly what he berates his customers for not doing, providing his identification. He could easily come out and prove that he is not the same Louis as this child predator, this fucking pedophile. He could easily come out and prove that if he is actually not that guy. But he hasn't. Instead, he's kind of talking vaguely around it, saying it doesn't even matter if it's true or not. That's a really weird response if he's not actually that guy.
He hacked the computer of one of the girls in southern New Wales and threatened her if she did not strip and engage in sexual acts on webcam. Police found 180 child things you can't view on the internet in Texas without a VPN, images on his computer, and that he had bragged online about his conduct. He posted images on 2 internet sites along with comments like epic win and enjoy and learn from the master. No remorse. Justice George Freiberg said Tarahaj had shown no remorse and ordered he serve half his 12-year term before being eligible for parole. There's an entire thing over here. This is public from Australia's website, Australia government. So if anybody's watching from YouTube and they think I'm making this stuff up, view this website for yourself. I'll link it down below. I'm going to read you some of the highlights of this.
Rossman then reads some horrifying details of that case. I'm not going to show any of that. That individual is truly evil. It is just beyond disgusting. What I do want to show you a little bit more of from this video, though, is just some other connections that they are very odd coincidences, for sure.
There was going to be a 12-year prison sentence. However, this wound up being commuted to a 4-year non-parole period. 2013. When did his business first end? June 2013. 4.5-year parole period. When would he have been active again? 2018. Wayback Machine. Let's check his website. When did his website become active? 2018. When did he start making commits to GitHub? What did Luan do to the 13-year-old girl? He hacked her computer and he messed with her. What does Louis identify as? A hacker. I eventually shifted my focus from hacking to reverse engineering. When you Google this guy's name, Louis Taharaj, Queensland University of Technology, Brisbane, Australia. Louis Taharaj, Department School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Where was this guy going to school when he was arrested? Queensland University of Technology. Now, when you look at the website, his name's not there anymore, but it was there before, because it was screenshotted 2 days ago. It stopped being there yesterday. He bragged on the internet that he made a 13-year-old girl defile herself and advised others how they could do the same. He'd leave his Rolex watch, gold rings, and cash on his desk in view of the webcam when he spoke to the girls. When you look at the court cases, they bring up a gold Rolex as part of the evidence. And when you look at his videos on YouTube, Better Way Electronics, what is he wearing over here? What kind of watch is that? And what color is it? Every one of the videos this guy makes has this little underage looking girl over here with the pink eyes in the bottom of the screen. Same as the shit that I see on his GitHub.
It's a very thorough and pretty convincing investigation. Again, not 100% confirmed or anything as of this moment, but what is confirmed is that BWE took down their socials, like their Twitter is down, as well as the business itself is no longer accessible, citing that, in the midst of all of this, he's taking it offline. So, regardless, he has definitely felt the gadooshing here. And keep in mind, it is entirely of his own making. Even without Rossman's investigation into the potential connection of BWE's Louis and this pedophile Louis, even if that wasn't present, he was still ruining his own business by treating his customers like absolute dog shit, insulting them, banning them for no reason, and just being an all-around terrible fucking person, and then fraudulently striking people that would call him out on bad business practices. He was still actively destroying his own business even before this investigation. Again, I highly recommend you watch Rossman's videos covering this. It is crazy. So, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's really it. See ya.